Welcome again. It's Domain Day from cheapwinefinder.com, where we're going to talk about another wine from Trader Joe's. This one's called, let me get the bottle because it does have a long name. It's one of their reserve wines. And Trader Joe's Reserve, not any special platinum or gold or anything, just reserve. Cabernet Sauvignon from the Wahluke slope of Columbia Valley in 2018, and this has a number of 189. The Wahluke slope is in south central Columbia Valley of Washington. Most of Washington's wines are in the Columbia Valley. Just a small section around Seattle that isn't a big player. They do like boutique wines, but the Columbia River Valley, that's where everything is. And this is the Wahluke Slope's kind of a desolate place. There's like only a couple of wineries and maybe 10, 12 vineyard owners in there, though they have some acreage. Some of them have more than one vineyard, and there's some pretty good players, some good vineyard owners in there. And this wine's a little bit different. I'm going to take a sip of this early because it's good. Trader Joe's Reserve wines typically try to hide who the producer is. And sometimes it's a custom wine company, but sometimes the custom wine makes it for Trader Joe's, and sometimes they're the middleman for somebody else. And this one says CC Vineyards in Patterson, Washington, and CC Vineyards, it's Columbia Crest. It's a second label for Chateau Ste. Michelle. And what's kind of weird about this is a $9.99 wine, and they're Columbia Crest Estates wines, which get good. They review well. They get 88, 90, 91 points. They're $8, $9 wines. And they also have Horsehaven Hills, the H3 wines, and they get 90 points, a semi-regular basis too. And that's around a $8, $9, $10, $11 wine. So here we have this Trader Joe's wines, which are usually bargains, and it seems to be more expensive than the value-priced wines coming out of Columbia Crest. Now, CC Vineyards isn't exactly, it could be a subsidiary of Columbia Crest or what have you, so it doesn't mean it means that their wine. It says they produced it. A lot of times you see bottled and cellared by. This says they produced it, so they made this wine. And there's a couple of things going on. Columbia Crest is owned by Chateau Ste. Michelle, and Columbia Crest was founded in the early 80s. Chateau Ste. Michelle accounts for like 50% of the wines coming out of Washington, and they were privately owned for a long time. Then a big tobacco company bought them for the last 20 years, and now a private equity company purchased them just recently. And when you get these companies being sold, and the private equity company bought the vineyards, everything, lock, stock, and barrel, all the brands, everything. Sometimes you get a change in focus, and this could be a wine that they don't plan on using anymore. Columbia Crest does reserve wines. We talked about their inexpensive wines, but they do reserve wines, single vineyard wines. And some of their Cabernets from there come from the Wahluke Slope, come from single vineyards. They tend to be single vineyard wines, and this one doesn't say single vineyard wine, but it could be. It can be a single vineyard wine. You can put Columbia Valley on it. You just can't go too far. You can't say a wine that's not single vineyard is, but you don't have to say that one is. We'll take another sip. So this isn't the usual who knows what it is, Trader Joe's Reserve wines. This one, we kind of know who, and we kind of know where, but the what is kind of is a mystery. And my guess, because I happen to taste it, is that this is something from their reserve wines from the Wahluke Slope that didn't make the cut for their more expensive bottle and got sold off to Trader Joe's. One odd thing that's happening at Columbia Crest is I looked around and their most recent release is a 2019 Chardonnay, and so for $9 or $8 Chardonnay, 2019 is kind of old. There should be 2020s. These, the newest red wines, 2018. I don't know if COVID set them back a year or exactly what why these wines have a little more age than they should, because how a wine is made, how much extraction, what kind of oak program they use, kind of is directly tied to how quickly they can be released. Inexpensive wines will be made to come together quickly, be bright, be fruit forward, juicy. And the wines that are made to be a little more expensive will have more depth and extraction and more oak to them. And this has 3 years of age, and it's 93% Cabernet Sauvignon, 7% Merlot. Those are two grapes that go together well. So it kind of seems as if it came from somewhere other than, it doesn't seem to be made expressly for Trader Joe's. It seems to have a different origin and just kind of found its way to Trader Joe's, which I think is all right with me. I'm going to take another sip. The review is on cheapwinefighter.com, and like the podcast wherever you like your podcast, if you will. And we have more coming. The holidays are coming. We're going to be fast and furious. So keep it cheap. Stay warm. Adios. And I'll be talking to everybody in a couple of days because we got more Halloween wines and then the holidays kick in. So bye-bye.